So hey all. Okay, so I'm recording this a couple of days before Christmas, and we will be meeting with family tomorrow night for Christmas Eve, and we'll probably be having a quiet Christmas at home, which suits me pretty well. Um, but overall, I think that I'm satisfied with the gifts I have picked up for the folks that I have been buying gifts for this year. There's one that I don't think will be here in time, but that's okay. It was kind of a last minute idea anyway, and it wasn't specifically a Christmas thing. It was just supposed to be like a little bit of extra. But all in all, I'd say that so far it's been pretty good. We had a nice Christmas party at work a couple of weeks ago, and we did Secret Santa, which I received some very nice gifts from one of my supervisors who was my Secret Santa. I got pretty much everything I asked for on my list, which is a lot more than I expected. I got a reed diffuser, and let's see, what else did she give me? It's like it's kind of hard to keep it all straight because it's like I know it was a couple, it was like a couple of things. Oh yes, I asked for an umbrella, and let's see. I'm sure there's some other stuff. One of my coworkers gave me this, which is a Mickey Mouse snow globe. Let's see if I can. There we go. And it plays a song. Probably. Let's see. Okay, dashing through the snow. Okay, yeah. I mean, I've never really had a snow globe. My mom used to have a bunch of them, and I kind of wanted one. So, this is something I've been wanting to have for a while. But it's been surprisingly hard to find good snow globes, like the kind I'm really looking for. I mean, this is really good. It's like Mickey Mouse. It's cute, and it plays a good song and stuff. So I'm definitely pleased with it. But I would like to have at least one that kind of has like a house inside or something. But certainly not complaining. I'm very, very grateful to my coworker for even bothering. So very much appreciated. Um, Coworker of mine gave me some sort of salted caramel chocolates and Amazon gift card, and I think it had like a journal in it, and it was like all really unexpected, but again very much appreciated. Um, and we did the Secret Santa. For the most part, it worked out pretty well. My gift from my coworker only got here today, which is December 23rd, so it was very late, but I kind of expected it was going to be because when I ordered it, and I'm sure they didn't know that at the time, but it was coming from China, and anytime you order anything from China, it takes like a minimum of 3 weeks for it to get here. So anyway, product arrived, and I'll give it to her when I see her again next week, I guess. Um, but that being said, so far Christmas has gone pretty well. I sent my mom and my sister their gifts, and I sent Rezi a gift. I mean, it's kind of been like one of those things where it's just like this year, even though I got a lot done, I had so many plans for things that I just ran out of time to do. And I'm not entirely sure, why, but it seems like a lot of things this year just kind of fell into that category. It's like I wanted to try and do a couple of things, but I mean, I got everything done that I had to do, but it's just a lot of things that I was, thinking, this would be nice, but I didn't end up getting around to them. But let's see. I guess that's it for Christmas for right now. Got a couple of Christmas cards. Thank you, Dan Raccoon and Chimera, for sending Christmas cards. And let's see. In writing news, I am working on the last act of Winterfall 2 and doing some edits based on Utunu and Solomon Harry's notes. It's kind of one of those things that it's like it's no matter how many times I think I've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb, there's still like little things that I end up wanting or needing to correct, and nothing's major, but it's still one of those surprising things, at least to me, because it's just like somehow I miss these things, but progress. But I was hoping to have the second one finished by the end of the year, but with only 8 days left in 2023. I think it's unlikely, unless I just happen to be like on an incredible hot streak. But I just don't think it's likely. Probably, I mean, I'm pretty sure that maximum by end of January it'll be done. But I was kind of hoping to just start the year clean with a couple of new projects or something, or at least finish up some old ones because I'm trying to wrap up couple of projects that have just been sitting at the 90 to 95% mark for a long time, and I just need to do the last little bit, do some editing, go through them, all that other fun stuff, and then start on a new project for the next year and get some things going. Because so far my current system has been working well-ish, but I want it to work better, or at least it'd be nice if I could pick up the pace a little bit. But I mean, I'm kind of just worrying, well, not worrying, but working on making sure that I am still steadily productive and in a good place, and that I can maintain what I'm doing, which so far I think is going well. But there's a lot of things I would like to have finished and out. Speaking of which, I talked to one of furry writer friends, furry writer group members about possibly going to a furry publisher, which hasn't really actually, the discussion hasn't really gone very far. But it's kind of one of those things that I just didn't do before, because I guess in part so I could control the pace of it. And I don't know, I mean, I've never done it before, but it would probably result in being, I guess, easier to get out there to the audience that would be relevant. I guess part of it was just me not wanting to have any of my stuff necessarily be out of print, because I'm slow and it takes me a long time to get stuff, and I want to make sure that what I'm putting out now will still be in print and available when I roll around to finishing the next big project. Because I'm slow, but I think that it's worth it, at least for me. Because I put a lot of thought into what I'm doing, and I try and say something with a lot of my art. And I think that in the long run that it produces a pretty stellar and unique project. And maybe that's tooting my own horn, but I mean, you kind of have to, at least a little, because if you don't believe in your stuff, then why should anybody else? But as far as that's concerned, I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about it, but plans had originally been to hopefully release it by the end of this year. That is not going to happen at this point for two reasons. One of which is because the cover artist is not going to finish the cover until January, which honestly suits me fine, because I need more time anyway to get my shit together. And, I mean, I guess that just means that 2024 is going to be my year, so fingers crossed. But so far I've had at least one beta reader read the whole thing, the whole Winterfall, and they've had positive things to say about it. Tunu has started reading the very beginning of it, and so far I think it's going okay. I mean, it's always nerve-wracking when somebody looks at your stuff specifically with a critical eye. Not because you don't think that there's anything wrong with your stuff, but just, it's just, I guess, it's just a nerve-wracking experience a little bit. I mean, I'm looking at it in a positive regard, because it's like I'm catching stuff thanks to the two people that have looked at my novel, things that I would have missed and would have been in the print copy had I not noticed them. And of course, obviously, it also occurs to me that you're not obligated to take every suggestion that's provided to you. Some of them, people, give their opinions, people give their, recommendations, and it's like you're not necessarily beholden to keep all of them. But it doesn't hurt to at least think about them and just think, it's like, is this something that I agree with or not, or whatnot? I mean, for the most part, I've taken about 90% of the suggestions offered, because a lot of them are things I just didn't catch, like repetitive wording, which is something I specifically watch for, but yet still, some of it gets through from time to time. But writing news, I mean, for the time being, the foreseeable plan is to try and finish Winterfall 2. And after that, I want to try and see if I can start another project and finish up two smaller projects that are almost done. And then from there, just sort of hopefully get into a good cycle. I haven't been working the outline as much as I want to, part because I've been working on finishing the outlines for Winterfall 4 and 5, which I'm now pretty happy with. As always, when you're writing things change a little bit as you go, just because you come up with things on the fly that weren't in your outline, and so on and so forth. So it's like I'm trying to, I'm playing a little bit with parts of Winterfall 2 that were not necessarily that way in the outline. I mean, nothing major structurally has changed, but it's just, there's bits and pieces that I'm trying to make it see if it locks into place like I think it will. Um, I can't really say much because it's all like spoilery stuff, but that's the current project. In video news, today's probably going to be a light day. Other than this vlog, I think I'm going to work on making an audio recording for a book review and maybe finishing some notes. And I think that's probably going to be it. It's probably going to be a short day today, partly because of the holiday weekend and partly just because I'm in, I'm in a mode where I don't feel like doing a lot. So I don't think I'm going to go above and beyond today. But I also don't really have that much, at least at the moment, that's ready to go. So I need to build up some new projects that will be hitting the web channel when I get the opportunity. But let's see. Books I'm reading. I put RVA 5 on hold for a little bit while Royce Day is in China. I kind of expected he was going to be out of contact, but it seems like he's had access to the internet, which is good. But I've been using it to try and focus on the other book I was reading, Final Fantasy VII, Tale of Two Paths, to kind of knock that one out if I can. Because I really kind of want to be able to read RVA when I have not exactly real-time access, but almost real-time access, because I can uh, send Royce some messages and comments, and we can discuss the story, I guess, on a little bit more of a real-time basis, because right now he's on China time, which is like 13 hours ahead of where I am now. So he's up like late at night, usually when I'm working, and during the day, I'm pretty sure he's asleep or doing things, which is all well and good, because how often do you get to travel overseas like that? But that being said, it's working out fine. It's like I'll read Final Fantasy VII, I'll make as much progress as I can. Hopefully I'll finish it, and then I'll be reading RVA 5, finish the rest of Red Vixen Adventures, I think, and get that on the shelf. And then I'm going to probably look at some Kindle books. Like, I know I bought Two Souls of Fancrest Manor, one of Todd Aldrington's books for Christmas something. Obviously, I will not have time to read and review it by Christmas. It just, but I think what I might do is probably try and read it whenever I get a chance / inclination, and schedule the review for next December or something, and just have it be like that. Because, I try to provide some variety in my book reviews so that they're not all like all furry stuff or all Star Trek stuff or all anything else really. But so far I intend to keep doing about one a month. That so far is going really well because I have lots of book reviews left on the stack, and now that I sort of am semi-familiar with Goodreads, I'll probably try and post them up there as well, and sort of try to make use of that website a little bit more, I think. That's about it for now. Christmas is in 2 days, and of course I'll probably have some footage to share from that maybe, and some personal footage just for home movie purposes and so on. And we'll just see how that goes. But that's probably it for now, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. And, we'll talk about what's going on in the new year. Oh, there is one more thing. I don't know if I'm going to do a year in review video like I had originally planned, because, really not a lot super unique has happened. There's been like a furry con and the usual stuff, but I don't know if anything really super noteworthy has occurred that I can point to specifically as far as something I would I had planned to, one of those many things I had planned to gather some stuff together for. I had planned on recording bits and pieces material for the future video in 2023's year in review, and that kind of didn't end up happening because there wasn't a lot of note. So, at least not a lot visually that I think would be interesting to people. But suffice it to say that, content is continuing, that there's lots of stuff left to go. And I mean, on the one hand, I suppose that it's good if I don't have a year in review video, because it means that not a lot, the old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. Well, you don't always want it to be interesting, because sometimes excitement isn't a good thing. But I mean, overall, I'd say it's been a good year. It's been a calm year, the way I like it, and things are going okay. So I will check in with you all in 2024, and this is going to be a good year. I got a lot of things I want to try and do in 2024. Fingers crossed that I'll have some good news on Shrag's behalf as well, and we will see how things go. But fingers crossed. It's like this. I will, for one thing for sure, have a novel out in 2024. Maybe even two if we're lucky. But we will see. Maybe and it's a lot of things in the pipeline, but at least now I can fairly guarantee that you will be seeing semi-regular releases from me. We'll figure out the timeline and the details and all the other stuff as we go, but it's heading in that direction, so fingers crossed.
If you like werewolves, check out my book Blue Moon, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. See you next time.